Flyover Politic Podcast, the show for normal Americans. From his undisclosed bunker, here's your host, Tony Reed.
Kill left and right. Carmela Anthony's case is just a tragedy. Excuse my language. But it is. Our people have getting killed left and right. Carmela Anthony's case is just a tragedy.
And welcome back to Flyover Politic Podcast. It's the 5th of August. Year of our Lord 2026. I had to start on that because that's the dumbest fucking thing. And Tarico is just like, yes. Black man who killed a white man is a fucking tragedy. That's interesting. So today we're going to do a DSA show. Haven't really done a DSA show. There's just so much shit that's come out with the DS of the A. And I got to play it. So we're just going to go into it. These are some ash and trash. And then we're going to go straight into Sophie Cunningham, some Fauci, hit some media sound bites at the end. No TikTok today. Let's just get into Ketanji Brown Jackson. DEI hire Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson says she's careful about what public engagements. And she's on Michelle Obama's podcast. So, yeah, I'm sure
there are lots of limits on what judges can do. And I try to be very, very mindful and scrupulous with respect to that because, as you say, our obligation is to be unbiased.
So you go on Michelle Obama's podcast. That's what you did. Responses. Yes, she really is that ignorant. The most biased Supreme Court justice in our lifetime. She just is. Here's Rosie O'Donnell. She's going back to The View.
I think that I plan on doing what Jimmy Kimmel has done so beautifully, which is giving it to him in a comedic, honest, truthful way. And I will do that as big as I can. Now, the song that I sang in my show, If He Only Had a Brain, I wanted to do that on Kimmel, but they just told me I can't.
Oh.
That they couldn't get permission for the parody because it's political content. And I was like, well, that is absurd to me because we used to do parodies every day on my show.
Wait, I don't understand.
Well, I've been told I'm not allowed to do that. Now, I don't know. It's not Jimmy.
Would you like to sing a bit of it here?
Yes. His approval rate is 30. His diaper's always dirty. I think the guy's insane.
She thinks she's so cute. She just thinks she's so cute. But people like her bring us this. Mega Barbie is the latest grifter to peddle anti-trans rhetoric. They're all after Sophie Cunningham. But this is the money shot. Tony Robinson's appearance at the Oxford Union for Debate on Islam last month cost Thames Valley Police around £100,000 in policing, according to a figure obtained by the BBC. Well, if Islam were a peaceful religion, that cost would never be required because the violent Islamists want to hurt him. Yet again, you inadvertently prove his point every fucking time. And this has made the rounds. I gotta play it.
Stephen Yaxley Lennon, known to his hooligans as Tommy Robinson. Stephen, there is a crowd outside rioting against you tonight, and without the protection and generosity of a Muslim Palestinian president and a mostly South Asian executive committee, you would be quite literally cooked.
89% of Pakistanis want Sharia law. The majority of Muslims want Sharia law. If you've got 100 Afghanis coming into America, because Joe Biden brought in hundreds of thousands, but out of every 100, 99 of them want Sharia law. They don't leave that at the border. They don't think, well, now we're in America, let's just ignore all of our beliefs. They bring it with them. 89% of those Afghanis who want Sharia law believe smashing a woman in the head with a rock and burying her in the ground is fair game. This isn't my opinion. This is their opinion.
Yep. And then we wonder why everything Trump does, we have crazies doing this. He's had, like, 4 assassination attempts.
This on my birthday?
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with TDS? The symptoms can be relentless. Fortunately, I'm Dr. Trump, and I have a treatment plan. Let's hear what some of my patients have to say.
And these are his patients. Rosie, sue him. It should be Rosie derangement syndrome at this point that he should be diagnosed with. But this is why we need legislation, federal legislation, against AI deepfakes.
Because people think that's real? How fucking stupid are you? Here's a lady who can't handle just seeing people with different opinions on a beach. This is the left.
Y'all check these shits out. Look at here. We at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This man, he's throwing his South Carolina flag.
We're not racist.
It's a Freedom 250 flag. But check this out. Yeah.
They can't handle opposing views. The only hopeful thing I got for somebody I think's a libtard, this is Aaron Rodgers.
A couple times today, because you've been very open about coming back for this year, last rodeo, and you talked about your wife saying, hey, have another year. Mike McCarthy being here, obviously a big deal. Can you tell us about the mindset of coming into your last season? Like, that's a real thing, it feels like, because is everything better? Is everything funner? Is everything more awesome? Like, how do you kind of view this year versus maybe the years of the past?
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay.
Okay. Like
gotta love that guy.
Okay. Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci.
Good for him. But you can't have opposing views. You can't. To beleaguer the point one more time, this is an honest thing. This is called suicidal empathy. My sexual assault is being used to justify ICE. IS 17 females raped by coworker this April. He was older, 23. When he asked me to hang out after work, I didn't think much of it. I had hung out with coworkers before. Besides, I had a bit of a crush on him. However, I really did not want to have sex with him. I consider myself somewhat lucky. I walked from the situation with merely a small scar and some bruising. But he was illegal, and now the system's this, and da-da-da-da-da. He got away from being sentenced to prison, and I was so scared of him, but Trump managed to make him go away nonetheless. Damn, I hate Trump. That is the synopsis. That is the synopsis of the whole thing. This is Mark Halperin. What passes balance on broadcast TV network Sunday News Roundtable. Two anti-Trump Democrat match with two anti-Trump Republican moderated by a former senior Democratic Party operative, Clinton administration official. And everybody's like, where the fuck have you been? Where have you been? Planned Parenthood. Abortion is gender-affirming care. That's the world we live in. So you understand. Riley Gaines refused order to lower Sophie Cunningham's sign an NBA game. Sophie, thank you, a girl mom. The only person who was told to put her sign down by an WNBA official was me. This is gone. I didn't think I could dislike anyone more than Clark. Congrats, Cunningham. Big, fat, disgusting slob. WNBA fan anti-Sophie Cunningham sign has gone viral after appearing during the Indiana Fever game. The sign read on the blah, blah, blah. Reaction comes amid ongoing backlash over Cunningham. The media made it so. This is the Telegraph. Basketball's new anti-trans mega poster girl. Martina Navratilova blocked this lady. She goes, this is just too important. Why is it so important? So we go into the Sophie Cunningham with all sorts of shit because they got to ask these idiots questions. And as you can see, the Fever coach, all of them are so fucking cold, they just can't answer questions because they're scared.
What is your stance on men or athletes who test as biological male participating in women's sports? What's your personal stance?
I don't know that I would say that I'm educated enough from a scientific
standpoint. I can't define a woman.
I don't ever believe that exclusion is an answer. You know, when we think about various levels of sport, various governing bodies of sport and things that go into that, like I said, I'm not educated enough at the different levels. I know growing up, I played with the boys all the time.
I'm not educated enough to know what a woman is. I'm not educated enough.
We had more women coaching college basketball before Title IX, after Title IX, when it became more important and more investment, that was code for.
And you got paid
more.
Man's
job. Got paid more. Became a man's job. And so to this day, we still don't have more women coaching in college basketball than we do men. So that same thing, apply that same thing. When 2 years ago, we lost 7 WNBA coaches, right? They got fired because all of a sudden this money, became more, the WNBA blew up, valuations of franchises, right? In comes the NBA folks again, who had cast us aside for many years. In they come again, right? Now they want their franchises back and that sort of thing. It's more important again. And then we have more men. When we have NBA people. Becky Hammond being successful, could lead to that. But like you said, I have no problem with a larger pool. I would love for the NBA to have a larger pool.
Why do I play that? Because they care about women's stuff so bad. But they literally will be cold into agreeing with this trans stuff, which is screwing
I know you don't
women.
have the fever again in the regular season, but coming out of the break, one of the big news stories has been Sophie Cunningham and the protests for her and protests against her. And, they had a national televised game today and Cheryl, wore a shirt. And it's just a conversation. I'm wondering just, what do you think about it? Do you think that's good for the league? Does it detract from the basketball? Is it just noise? I'm just wondering what your opinion is.
I think, thank you for that question. I think just in terms of how I'm seeing it is, if I could answer with, for me, sports is about belonging. It's about inclusivity. It's about allowing everyone to be their authentic self. I'm big on that just because I have been.
It's all the same. I don't know if I'm educated enough. A dude I'm about to play. I'm completely supportive of all communities. The narrative that I think is problematic is just that, number one, that transgender athletes are the biggest problem in women's sports. This fucking piece of shit, Minneapolis Lynx coach, Trans Kids Belong t-shirt. I'm fucking flipped away. There it is. That's how cold they are. Here's another coach. They're just cold.
Multiple WNBA coaches have just come out in favor of men participating in women's sports. Let's go ahead and hear them out real quick.
With for me, sports is about belonging. It's about inclusivity. It's about allowing everyone to be their authentic self. So I'm all about women.
And they saw Sophie Cunningham take a really dirty foul to the face. She took an elbow to the face, and she got called for the foul. So obviously, the NBA doesn't only have it out for Caitlin Clark, but her teammate Sophie Cunningham, because she has taken a very moderate stance on trans.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough foul, and we have seen Caitlin Clark get pushed around way too much, and I understood why she said...
I'm not going to play this. This is Jemele Hill.
Don't forget the Supreme Court also having the backing of the decision of 29 states as well. You mentioned the juxtaposition between the need to hear from Caitlin Clark and the complete horror at the thought of LeBron James speaking up about his views, and as well as many others. And Laura Ingraham was one of the people who did not like the idea of people who didn't just shut up and dribble. And she said this on X: speaking out against boys and men playing in women's sports is not at all political. She's defending her livelihood and basic common sense. What's your reaction to her statements now?
Well, I would also say it's common sense
Such
that
bias.
unarmed black people shouldn't be killed by the police.
Boom! Got to bring it in. So it's got to be about black folk. These are the people they want to do. Look at this fucking train wreck.
And your opinion is ugly as hell. I've got a bunch of passing, pick-me trans people up in my comments right now telling me that I'm making society a worse place for us all by being myself and sharing my experience. Let me tell you, you are privileged as hell to be passing. Not all of us want to be living up to society's expectations.
That fucking fruitcake. This lady right here is handing to children. Fuck Greg Abbott.
Oh, you can't find this in the store. Not this, baby. This right here. This is customized.
I'm going to replay it. Look at that
you can't
shit.
find this in the store. Not this, baby. This right here. This is customized.
This is a Pride event in Vancouver. Why do kids need to see this? Look at that fucking train wreck. That guy's like 6'12". No, that was a joke. I need kids to see that fucking train wreck. Listen to this fucking piece of shit.
So is this open to everybody? Not really. But there's a growing number of people who are younger and are from much more diverse backgrounds who typically don't go to those events.
They still are stuck on stupid. So what was the outside of all these events like? Well, you can guarantee it's the usual thing. Here's the motherfucking peaceful left.
You have males looking at my back in a fucking corner. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. Protect trans women. Protect trans women. The hate is real. Protect trans women. Protect trans women. Walk in.
Peaceful left. She got hit with bullhorns. She got fucking jostled. Look at this shit. Look at that shit. And here's one of the piece of shit coaches who yelled at kids and didn't get reprimanded.
Well, we see Cheryl Reed wearing a shirt today in support of trans kids. Trans kids belong on the shirt. This in the aftermath of Sophie Cunningham's recent.
So they'll do that on air, but they won't push out pictures of the kids and women who, women. So we move on to Fauci. Fauci stuff is still flowing. Let's get into this crap. These fucking people. This is Politico Journal. Fauci hearing brings back COVID vitriol. Wow, their fingers hasn't moved an inch of the pulse of America, has it? Janice Hickey. It never left. That's why no one trusts the media, and you're still don't get it, obviously. Beside the illness and death and disruption and loneliness, America remember the pandemic for its vitriol. The handling of COVID divided parties and states, families and neighbors. It's taken years in many cases to repair the damage. Fauci lied. He documented his lies. He's confirmed much of what was supposedly a conspiracy theory. It's black and white, and the hardcore left still sticks their head in the sand. Bleh. Bleh, bleh. So you got Dana Bash, who is a total troll, always been a troll, and you have RFK on, and this is basically blaming them for the measles. Before I even push play on this, I want to make sure we understand why do we have measles? We have measles because you brought in foreigners without any fucking vaccinations. We didn't have measles in the United States. We didn't have a lot of these things that we're starting to get. We've had Black Plague in the fucking United States. And where did it come from? It's coming from all the foreigners you brought in who don't get inoculations. So you blame vaccine hesitancy because there's actual proof. Hi, it's me. Who got fucked up by your stupid shot on people getting the measles when that's a complete lie. The measles vaccine isn't what the measles vaccine I got as a kid wouldn't stop me from getting the measles now because the measles is morphed. It's a totally different disease. So it doesn't really matter if that's a fact or truth or anything. We're just going to say politics, politics, politics because we're Dana Bash. We're a piece of fucking shit. And we'll blame Trump. We blame Trump for the rain, the lack of the rain, the sun.
The measles cases in the U.S. just reached a 35-year high. The
Your fault.
Record-breaking year in a row. 93% of these cases are among the unvaccinated. The outbreak has happened on your watch. And even before becoming HHS secretary for years, you have been one of the leading voices questioning the efficacy of vaccines. Do you accept some responsibility for this measles outbreak?
Who the
Absolutely not.
No.
First of all, this is an international outbreak. So, and we're doing better at handling it than any country in the world. Mexico has 15 times the amount of measles per capita that we have. Canada has 4 times the amount of measles.
You brought him in.
England has 2 times the amount of measles. Did I
Brought him
cause
in.
those measles outbreaks?
You're the most famous.
Did I cause 137,000 cases?
You're the
of
most
measles in
famous
Europe?
vaccine skeptic on the planet.
Let me tell you, because actually Anthony Fauci in his diaries answers the question about why we're having a measles outbreak right now. The reason we're having a measles outbreak because of the COVID lockdowns, because people children during that period did not get vaccinated. And in his diaries, he says this is going to cause massive outbreaks of measles and more children. He says this are going to die. Let me finish, because you could accuse me of something. Now, let me.
No, I didn't. I asked you a question.
Yeah, let me give you the answer. He says in his diaries, more children are going to die from measles because of these lockdowns than COVID. So if you want to know, and that age group that should have gotten the MMR when they were 18 months and didn't get it, they're the ones being infected. The people in this country, and we have stopped the outbreaks at record speed in South Carolina, in Texas, in Utah, in Virginia. We've done better than any country in the world. I dispatch immediately the epidemic intelligence services to those states. I get on the phone with the governor, and we stop them. And
You and your ilk brought it in. But remember, this is who she is. This is her with J.D. Vance. She never acts this way with a Democrat.
You guys seem to be struggling a little bit. Kamala Harris has been calling the shots. Says who? There's no evidence that Kamala Harris threw him overboard, called you and Donald Trump, and that is weird.
Sure.
You're saying Tim Walz doesn't have affection for his wife? I don't even understand that. They have done both. They have both policies, and they are trying to define it. You have been on the campaign trail questioning Tim Walz's military record. Governor Walz served 24 years.
Sure.
He even stayed
He lied.
after he could have retired because of 9/11.
He lied.
More than
He lied.
the country asked of him. Do you honor his service? I will say that the Harris-Walz campaign did.
This goes on for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's an interview for them. Here's her about the Fauci stuff.
Washington was also gripped this week by a blast from the past as former top Trump health official Dr. Anthony Fauci repeatedly pleaded the Fifth at a congressional hearing over his handling of the COVID pandemic, all while the U.S. faces health challenges from disease outbreaks to rising healthcare costs. Here with me now is...
That's her intro. Not going to say it's bad. This is her with Jim Jordan this weekend.
With his nominee for Attorney General stalled, President Trump is issuing a new threat, declaring on social media that if Republicans don't confirm Todd Blanche, then his controversial $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund would, quote, immediately be back on the table and I will get it done. Blanche had previously said that fund was dead. Here with me now is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. Thank you so much for being here. So President Trump making clear from his point of view, the anti-weaponization fund is not dead. You and others have said that you believe it is. So you're the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Is it dead or is it not?
Well, Todd Blanche under oath said it was dead. Todd Blanche needs to be confirmed. I've been in Congress now 19 years. I've never had an attorney general that I could work with like Todd Blanche. I think he's doing an outstanding job. And even Senator Tillis and Senator Cornyn have said he's highly qualified. So they should confirm this guy because he's doing bringing down crime, going after the fraudsters who've been ripping off American tax dollars. Todd's doing a great job. He needs to be confirmed, and let's hope it happens soon. You're right that these two senators are saying that this is unfortunate that this is happening to Todd Blanche because it's about this weaponization fund and the IRS settlement. But on the weaponization fund, are you saying that that the president is not accurate or he's not telling the truth when he said?
This entire interview goes like this because this is what she does. This is what she does. On that same network.
All of this just speaks to how polarized our, not just politics actually has become, but this is now we're talking about public health and public health officials as well. Yes, we did have the release by the Trump-led HHS. We did have the release of Fauci's pandemic diaries where he did muse about the origins of COVID and also the fame he was getting that fueled this. But this was the latest step in a long-held feud between the chairman of a congressional committee in Rand Paul and a public health official in in Dr. Fauci. And the hearing that we saw yesterday, both him pleading the fifth over and over again, and the members, using that kind of harsh language, threatening as well. It just speaks to how polarized and divisive not just our politics have become, but also our policymaking, including policymaking that used to be void or at least immune to some of this politics.
How do you say that with a straight face? How do you say that with a straight face? I don't understand how you say that with a straight face. The left has made everything vitriolic. But it's always the right, the right, the right, the right. This hearing's a witch hunt. What the fuck was the goddamn J6 shit? One-sided, no fucking truths. You fucking pieces of shit. All right, this is a sad one. A Christian couple had their teenage daughter taken away by CPS after Oregon's Department of Human Services determined they had caused mental injury by refusing to affirm her transgender identity. Oregon, you're lost. This is the Smithsonian. We've had a lot of Smithsonian, but I really haven't covered it. A pink pussy hat worn by a participant in the 2017 Women's Face. These are all things that are on display. A picture of a 1970s drag queen wearing an off-the-shoulder shimmery gown. LGBT activism, pro-abortion activism. Monarch butterfly wings worn by an illegal immigrant activist. A typewriter belonging to liberal writer Maya Angelou. Racial justice propaganda. Democratic Party political material. In all, Fox News Digital found 7 consecutive items compared to nearly 24 for LGBT rights, racial justice, and other causes. Even the items representing Christianity, however, included undertones of racial justice. Biden team fought for years to keep the public from hearing tapes from his ghostwriter that were part of the investigation of Robert Hur. I haven't investigated. He's no longer president. I don't really care anymore. But the scariest thing about it is that man wasn't remotely sentient. Like, this guy was cuckoo for the cocoa of the puffuses. He just wasn't. He wasn't well. I want to play some more. Did I not get this? I don't think I got this. This is the Denver City Council. And, whenever you start researching this stuff and you go around and
think about
read my enough articles history. About crazy stuff that's going on in the world, just go see their city councils. This is why they're fucking moonbats.
Think about my family's history. And my dad was a migrant worker and grew up working in the fields. And so I see this and I also think of an experience of Colorado and of what my family has experienced. And I'm asking, was there consideration of expanding or broadening to be able to reflect that?
No, I think we thought about it in the same way that we did the land acknowledgement in terms of foundational, the foundational experience within this country. And so the labor being specific to those that were taken from Africa onto this continent, and that labor being forced.
Do you know of another city that names a perpetrator group? So the phrase at the hands of white Americans. I know that there are a bunch of labor acknowledgments that talk about systems like white settler colonialism, but it doesn't talk about groups. Historically, the family of labor acknowledgments tend to talk more about systems instead of groups.
Yeah, so again, the language came from examples from all across the country that we had kind of put together. I would imagine that is probably uncomfortable, but
a slave acknowledgement. And a land acknowledgement. Okay. Travis Kelce facing doubts from Taylor Swift friends for a reason source. He's going to start a country music career. That's what he wants to do. Okay. And then last but not least, and we're going to go straight into DSA, this literally aired about a SpaceX launch.
Is this impact something we should be concerned about, or is the concern more, like you've just mentioned there, around space junk just continuously piling up around the orbit of Earth?
Well, look, the moon is something that's fascinated us. You know, it's deeply rooted to indigenous, sky country and storytelling.
What the fuck? Did she say indigenous sky country? Oh, we're going to have moon acknowledgements with their slave acknowledgements and the land acknowledgement and, oh, fuck my life. All right, let's go into the DSA. This one's going to hurt, boys and girls. Okay, we're going to start with Bill Maher. They gasp when he says this.
A new rule: Donald Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them. And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA and their candidates. J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, oh my God, you're a Republican now. No, that's not what I said. I said in play. And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out. Again, let's just...
They're all on board. This is butt leg.
You're keen to remove the Electoral College and do it based on numbers, the quantity of votes for either presidential candidate.
And I still can't believe that anybody considers this radical. Like, to me, there's nothing radical about thinking the person who gets the most votes ought to be the winner. But I think people haven't thought through how much benefit would come from that. If we did that, there are so many votes in red and blue states that you couldn't ignore anymore. Like, if you were running for president as a Democrat, you'd have to go to Texas.
Yeah.
And even if...
Any way that they never lose. That's all it's about. So we're going to do the CRAS first, and then we'll get into the DSA, but this is all part of it. How low is our self-worth as Americans that we tolerate this little bullshit? We let crackheads kill their babies in public in L.A., and you have this comedy crap in Wisconsin. This isn't even a protest. It's just degenerate criminality, and everyone involved here should be in fucking prison. Prison. These are the videos of it, and I'm going to, for the whole DSA, I want to put this face up, because I'm going to play a soundbite after CRAS. And this soundbite, which I don't know, I had a southern accent. I've been having a lot of southern accent later. And down by the holler in the creek. She, of course, ran her cock trap about it this weekend. And we will fuck it because she's a piece of fucking shit. But here's our Madison CRAS. It was finally taken down. But this is the kind of shit that this person's talking about. This is degeneracy. Look at this fucking shit. They basically took over a whole fucking area. I download the picture he's talking. Well, let me get the picture that he's talking about. This fucking picture here, or this video. I don't understand why you would put up with this. Why would you put up with this shit? They have destroyed your fucking city, and you tolerate it. And I don't know why you do. This would not happen in the South. You wouldn't be able to pull this shit in the South. You just wouldn't. There's no fucking way anybody in the South would put up with this shit, just rat fucking their thing. So they had to go in and crack skulls this weekend and get them the fuck out. But this is all assigned to these nut jobs. They have to go in and break it down. This is all costing you overtime.
That's it, bro.
All because a piece of fucking
I'll walk
shit.
out when I'm done. I'll walk out when I'm done. This
Got
is a
shot.
public space. I'm allowed to film here. I'll walk out when I'm done.
That's them fucking with a journalist.
I tell my followers to stay out of here and don't come down here because. So a rather interesting thing just happened is that I was peacefully, of course, filming the graffiti on the sidewalk as I've been trying to do this entire time, and was instantly approached by a mob of people that surrounded me and pulled out their phones and said, "Go live, go live, go live." And now they're playing music real loud, so I can't record, so I'm going to move a little bit back here. They surrounded me, and there was about a 10-minute standoff where it was me versus a bunch of people with cell phones filming me, where they were declaring that I created the dangerous situation by filming the graffiti on the sidewalk, that I had to leave, that I was just capitalizing on the whole thing, and blah, 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 blah. And basically I just stood there and pointed my phone at them for about 10 minutes and tried to communicate what I've been saying the entire time, which is I'm trying to film the graffiti on the street. So they didn't want to believe me. It was a whole big thing. I'll post the full video. But it seems to have de-escalated now, so I'm going to continue doing my thing.
This is the cops tearing that shit down. And you paid for all this. You had to pay for all this. If you're a Wisconsin person, you had to pay for it. These are the people they're defending right here.
I just looked it up, and Mamdani's term is going to end at the end of 2029, and he can only run for 2 terms. So at most, well, you can only have 2 terms. You can run for more, but you know what I'm saying. And so then the next one, if he gets elected again, would end in 2033. And I am still in college. I don't graduate until next year. So that means I would have at most like 6 years with Mamdani if I move to college. If I move to New York immediately.
That's New York. This is how they treat reporters.
Don't talk to me.
So why are you cameraing me?
I thought call 911.
These are more people inside these areas that are doing illegal shit. Journalists can't get in. Here's a fucking guy running in Florida. Tell me it's not worldwide.
Hey, it's Oliver Larkin here, Democratic candidate for Florida's 25th Congressional District, and I am signing the Abolish ICE Pledge. Tomorrow evening at Florida International University's Biscayne campus, we're going to be having an immigration town hall that's going to include some of
This is another DSA guy who went to jail.
Put your bag away, bro. Put your bag away.
Scumbags. They're all fucking scumbags. I'm going to show in reverse this time. I usually show the media afterwards. I'm going to do the media up front. They are defending this, and then I'm going to go through El Sayed and Hong. But I'm just going to start with a mix of media of what they're saying about these people, then a CNN special on what they're saying about these people. So we're going to do our first little section here on just regular old people, starting with that piece of shit, Margaret Brennan.
Heather, could you ever support a self-described socialist candidate?
No. No way. My God, no.
And even if they have some good ideas?
Well, I support the good ideas, but how could you support some of the crazy stuff they're for? Have you seen their platform? They're for dismantling everything that we know, whether it be the structure of government, Congress itself, or the Senate they want to get rid of. And then they start talking about all the crazy things. No police, no this, no this, no that. Are you crazy? We want a crime-free area. We have to have police for that.
Yes.
We want a strong defense. We want a strong border. But if Democrats...
She's for it. Listen to this guy.
Guys,
what I thought was really interesting and what I left with was that they're also understanding that this is a moment that they haven't had before and that they actually have to appear more serious. You know, when I was talking to the co-chair at the beginning there, one of the other parts of the conversation was that, you know, they know that people see them as like silly little kids that are playing politics, where in fact they could, you know, take all of the anger that's happening in this country and transition it into something real. And so when you talk about, you know, that little
polls show my next guest as the Democratic
frontrunner
they would
for
go
governor.
With
anything.
She's a state assemblywoman and a Democratic socialist, and she is not shy from far left proposals. Take a listen to this.
Rapid fire. Do you support repealing Act 10?
I'm going to cover her
Michael,
in a
let's go to
second.
you now. What is your verdict? How much less safe? I mean, how dangerous is these cutbacks?
I think they're fairly dangerous because the threat landscape facing the United States from external enemies has not really changed. If anything, it's...
And they've gotten rid of a lot of the foremost experts in terrorism, including people that worked on the cases like the classified documents case, because that was a national security case, right? So they've rid the...
Well, I mean, when we see the
this is all under the guise of the DSA that they need to have these people.
And some of
Listen to
them
this.
have, you know, more extreme positions. They want to abolish ICE entirely, Donnie. And so when you look at those positions that moderate Democrats raise concerns about hurting them in the fall, when you talk to some of the biggest progressive podcasters, streamers, one of them is Hassan Piker that I know have interviewed for the documentary on Sunday night. When you talk to them and the concerns that you hear from the more mainstream Democrats, what do they tell you?
They're largely unapologetic. You know, I mean, I think that they view themselves as sort of being in this position of having the upper hand.
This guy does a whole special. We're going to see it.
Let's start with the socialists.
Oh, okay.
That nobody's talking about.
Okay, we can do that.
But everybody should be talking about.
Nobody's talking about.
Socialists are taking over some of the most important companies in America's economy.
The Department of Commerce is taking equity stakes in 7 companies developing semiconductor technologies for artificial intelligence and advanced computing systems.
Also known as socialism.
Announced yesterday that it would designate more than $870 million in federal incentives under the CHIPS and Science Act in exchange for minor equity stakes in those companies. This practice has drawn criticism from lawmakers, including some Republicans like Senator Todd Young, who has said the CHIPS Act was never intended to let the federal government take major stakes in private companies.
Richard Haass, this is socialism. This is pre-Thatcher style.
You see the joke? So let's start with just a few of these people really quick before I go into the CNN love fest. They blow Hassan and cup the balls. This is the police chief in Seattle. He's been fired by a white chick. And nobody fucking cares. Nobody's even talking about it. All right? They're not talking about it at all. And then here is the socialist mayor speaking, and tell me this person should be in charge of a fucking taco stand.
Good afternoon, Seattle. You deserve clarity about what's happened over these past few days. Since the horrific shooting at the Seattle Center, our city has been grieving and searching for answers. I want to speak directly to you about what we are doing now, what we are changing, and how we are moving forward together. My first obligation is to the families of Carlos Israel Sanchez Villalba, Ashley Whitehead, and Junior C. Nico Samo, and to everyone who was at Seattle Center that day. I have complete confidence in the SPD team that is conducting this investigation.
She got rid of the guns censors. She took them down because they were racist. It wasn't a white guy.
And in their ability to uncover the facts. I also know there are real questions about how the city communicated with the public. The officers who responded on Sunday deserve enormous credit. They acted with speed and professionalism in a dangerous and chaotic situation. They took a...
Okay, this goes on, and she never really explains, why did you fire the black police chief? Why is a white woman firing a black police? These people are so full of shit and such hypocrites.
I understand that many of my colleagues on the city council disagree with the decision to move forward with a leadership change at SPD at this time. I am making what I firmly believe is the right decision at the right time.
The optics are that you are making Chief Barnes the fall guy for missteps that happened after the Seattle Center shooting, including the 5-hour lack of information, except for a statement from your office which contained errors. What do you want members of the public who say you've made him the fall guy?
Yeah, I'll just say again, I firmly believe that I'm making the right decision at the right time.
She made him the fall guy, and she got away with it because none of it really means anything. Here's Mandami. We're going to do a free grocery store, but you got to have an ID. But I thought black people and Latinos and gay people and trans and people who have dicks and wear dresses and binary and non-binary and everybody can't get ID cards, just like they can't use computers because they're minorities and they're fucking stupid, because that's what you're implying, that they can't use a computer and they can't get a fucking ID, even though they're all on welfare. So the people on the welfare have to have an ID, and those are the people that you pander to. But yeah, it'll be like a library card, they say.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically, and is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head.
I'm not going to say the words that we have to say because then it'll be on me. Racist commie Mandami is going to make you show an ID.
We are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card-esque, and also we manage who's buying and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that. And so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Scott Jennings nailed it and goes, I can't believe, these are all hongs, I can't believe married women who often have children are effectively being barred from these grocery stores. The monsters. Also pretty racist not to let black people shop. I mean, they can't get IDs. That's their plan. That's their plan. So what does CNN do? Well, CNN goes out and licks da balls and cups da balls and infers McCarthyism. This is hard to watch.
One communist on the faculty of one university is one communist too many.
Communism and socialism have long been bad words in American politics. Dating back to the McCarthy hearings and the Cold War, America stood for capitalism.
They use the word social democrat because it sounds so nice, but it's really communism you're talking about.
But that is changing.
You understand, I think rightly, this is social democracy. This is not Gulag socialism. This is not the Soviet Union socialism.
Socialism, on the other hand, up like a rocket. Look at this. 2 in 3.
Will you endorse the 2028 candidate if they are pro-Israel in a way that you don't like?
Look at this, all Hassan.
Are about defeating fascism in this country as you describe it. Surely shouldn't you get on board with whoever the main candidate is?
Luckily, I don't think I will have to make that calculation at all, because there is 0% chance that whoever the elected Democrat is that wins the primary will be pro-Israel in any way, shape, or form. You'll see.
Because they won't let him. He's a fucking anti-Semite.
Nice to meet you. I'm Donny O'Sullivan.
One might think all the energy and excitement about a new generation of candidates might be a cause for celebration within the
This is the only
Party.
opposing view we had on the whole show. More Hassan Piker.
The issues that Piker and Hogg were talking about back in Chicago have come to play a defining role in the fight for the future of the Democratic Party.
Is Israel committing genocide in Gaza?
Hogg and Piker
They're
are
not
now part of an insurgency.
Hogg has pledged to spend millions funding primary challenges to what he calls
Hog. They're going to go with hog.
The heart of the insurgency is the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. The DSA is the largest socialist political organization in the country, and it's working to pull the Democratic Party to the left.
Senator Bernie Sanders.
Today, they
Last
often
one.
when belief in the system collapses, civil unrest and violence follow.
The CEO of United Healthcare was murdered this morning.
And he doesn't say that's a bad thing. Because it's not a bad thing to them. Once again, they don't care. They don't fucking care. They will never fucking care because they're pieces of shit. So we're going to chart with this Hong girl. I'm just going to go over the articles. All right. This is the stuff this lady's for. And there goes the media's for now. Their leading cabinet in Wisconsin for governor, Francesca Hong, wants to abolish the police, abolish prisons, abolish borders, raise your taxes for government-run grocery stores. This isn't progressive. It's radical, dangerous. Cancel Thanksgiving. Should have done this in 1621. That's the resurfaced message from Wisconsin Democratic gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong. IT bro, who was working on our computer, remotely changed the background theme to snow and Christmas trees. I feel slightly attacked. I miss working in a restaurant every day except on V-Day, as if we were invisible enough to those who don't recognize the emotional and physical labor of service work, and the worst of humanity comes out from folks celebrating on a day capitalism tells you to show love. I do not enjoy fireworks. Add 4th of July to the list she doesn't like. Is there anything she likes? No. Francesca Hong was previously hospitalized in a psychiatric ward and admitted to having mental breakdowns, suffering from mental illness, and cutting herself. This is the person they want to lead their party. Wisconsin DSA candidate Hogg wants to abolish police, prisons, Senate, wants government to take over private companies, wants to cancel Thanksgiving, has consistently expressed bigotry aimed at white people. I have a soundbite today where she literally fucking says, my son is white adjacent because I married a fucking white guy. Yeah. Here's more of this goddamn train wreck. We can't wait to see you at the Sunday's We Make Better Possible rally in Milwaukee. We'll have live performance by Emmett James and 99 producers, and joined by Rep. Ilhan Omar and other. No bags allowed. Registration and photo ID required. That's Jim Crow. You're requiring people to have it? More on her holiday craziness. Just so everyone knows where I stand, I won't cancel Christmas as governor, Tom Tiffany said. Valentine's Day too? She is a fucking train wreck. But you can't tell it by the media who bring her around because they think either there's two things on this. Either they think we need to destroy this bitch because she'll destroy the party, or this is where we want to go.
That is in the service industry. We are finally having this conversation about, how our industry really did come from it and kind of is rooted in white supremacy, that tipping in itself.
Tipping white supremacy. So don't tip her. This is the one where she says her son's a piece of shit because he's part white.
I wasn't always aware of the struggles of other communities of color because for me, assimilation always kind of took over. And so I did marry. My proximity to whiteness continues, right? My son is biracial. He's half white and half Korean. And I think navigating, what his identity is and how people perceive him is always at the back of my mind as well.
Who, in the name of Zeus's butt crack, says that about their child?
DSA candidate Francesca Hong, she's leading in these recent polls, Congressman. Your thoughts on the DSA now targeting Wisconsin, because whoever wins that primary on August 11th is likely going to be your opponent.
I know some are trying to head this off. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it because there's great passion amongst some in the base of the Democrat Party to adopt socialism. But we're going to find out whether they capitulate or not. And if they do, there is going to be, I mean, first of all, there's a clear contrast already, but there's going to be a really clear contrast because the Democrat that you see on the screen here, she's called for abolishing prisons, abolishing the police, not just.
You know, you talked about your past positions that he keeps highlighting and, you know, obviously likely would continue to do so before November should you win. One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it.
Of course she deleted it.
Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. You know, I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years, that bringing folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good thing. But Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to.
Everything before the but is bullshit. Everything before the but is bullshit. Fox News brings this train wreck on.
Okay. Would you advocate for public ownership of America's largest corporations or those in Wisconsin?
I have to say, first of all, we are incredibly proud of our Green Bay Packers, a publicly owned NFL team. But I believe there are some manufacturing and corporation that is irresponsible to have full public control. Abolishing policing is one segment of reforming and reevaluating our criminal justice system. Using those funds from using the funds after we've eliminated the access to eliminating funds for the police needs to be put into rehabilitation services.
Your 2020 posts supporting defunding the police, quote, as a first step towards abolishing the police, which in a separate post you said, quote, exists to uphold white supremacy. Now, I know you've said you're not running to defund the police. It's not something you can do as governor, and that people's views can evolve. I'm wondering how your views on policing have evolved since 2020.
My views have only become stronger in that.
Thank you.
Mayla Quiros, welcome to Firing Line.
Thanks for having me.
You have just won a tight or.
Okay, this is a different lady, but I threw it in here because it's the women and this is a long interview. I only got little parts of it, but they are in love with these DSA.
Contested Democratic primary in Denver, Colorado, that ended up not being quite so tight. Mm-hmm. You defeated a 15-term incumbent who
See
was
the smile?
Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, despite constant criticism from the right and fear-mongering from the right about socialism, has a 58% favorability rating.
Do you ever think why they always load the question with their personal diatribes? It's because they're liberals.
You just said you're a Democratic socialist, but you're a proud Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey Democrat Josh Gottheimer recently said, I know you're smiling because you know the quote, said the DSA are not Democrats, they're socialists who want to hijack the Democratic Party. The Democrats have a big tent. That's our strength. We embrace a range of ideas. But there is no room for anti-American bomb throwers who oppose our ideas, values, and leaders.
Yep.
What's your response?
I don't think there's anything more American than subscribing to an economic philosophy that, as the evidence shows, is the only one that's actually capable of delivering things like life.
Nothing more American than being a communist. Here, Ali Vesey, who licks Hong's taint.
Let's talk a bit about this. I'm a big fan of Wisconsin, but it is one thing to win as a Democratic Socialist in a place like New York City. Most of us from New York City think Wisconsin's a different ballgame. It's a battleground state. Big races are often won by very slim margins. Both of your senators, the Democrat Tammy Baldwin, the Republican Ron Johnson, each won by about 1%. In 2018, Tony Evers won his
We're
first term by
strategizing
1%.
for her.
He won his
That's what we do.
by 3%. Even Donald Trump didn't win by a full percent when he defeated Kamala Harris. That was the narrowest result of the entire year. So talk to me about how you campaign in a place like Wisconsin on your platform.
You campaign by going to communities in every corner of the state, rural, urban, suburban, and you go and listen to the voters and affirm the different struggles, how they're feeling, what they want for themselves, their families, and communities. And most folks want to be able to care for themselves. They want to be able to afford to live in Wisconsin. And I think many people are starting to feel that a system that
Loaded question allows her to sound normal.
economic system now is deeply rigged against them, and they deserve an affordable.
Rigged against them. It is rigged against them. The system we have used forever is rigged against them. That's what they say. Now, in it is Hassan Piker's number one guy, a total fucking terrorist sympathizing piece of fucking garbage that should have gone to fucking Gitmo, but instead he's running in Michigan. Under condition, a Democratic operative under condition of anonymity tells me if we nominate Syed, we're fucked. Yes, they are, but they'll do it anyway, and they will. Right now, Mike Rogers beating him by 3%, but the media hasn't really got involved with this one because of Hassan Piker stuff. But who knows at the end? Because they'll vote for fucking Satan. They don't give a fuck. So to be clear, Syed put out a tweet asking his followers not to be personally abusive or insulting about Haley Stevens. Stevens put out a tweet personally attacking Syed for being a person who blames his defeat on Jewish Americans. Just disgusting slander. Abdul, we're both on the ballot in 2018. I was capable of winning by competitive primary. You lost by over 20 points to Gretchen Whitmer, and you will lose to Mike Rogers by talking like us. Everyone in America understands you want to blame. Abdul, let me get to it. Abdul, come for me. You picked Haley Stevens, the least capable candidate in America. If you think you can beat money out of politics, money in your politics, Medicare for all, blah, 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 blah. This is his little diatribe here. This guy is their
when AIPAC watches this,
wonder.
Come for me. See what happens.
AIPAC, come for me. This is what he says. AIPAC, come for me.
When AIPAC watches this, come for me. See what happens. Come for me. I know you keep coming, but you picked literally the least capable candidate in America, right? And then Chuck Schumer doubles down, and then AIPAC doubles down. And part of me is like, okay, look, if you think you can beat money out of politics, money in your pocket, Medicare for all, come. But I'll tell you what people don't want. They don't want money in a foreign government. They want money here.
So this is this piece of shit in his own words. And this is your atypical, I hate American fucking DSA person.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is
he's
Dr.
speaking for
Abdul
CARE.
Al-Sayed. I cannot wait to be in Washington, D.C. for the forthcoming CARE National Conference and annual banquet. We'll be talking about political engagement, the importance of fighting for justice and liberty. CARE, of course, has been on the front lines fighting for these things for a very long time. On behalf of and for the Muslim American community, it is a critical organization for our future. I look forward to supporting.
I have linked to fucking terrorists. So here is the things they say. Rare. I've been trying to find this rare thing and I can't find it.
Almost 4,000 mosques in America. About 6 million people attend these 4,000 mosques every Friday. That's really the infrastructure of the Muslim community. The core of Muslim life in America is the largest number of mosques. Secondly, you have schools, social services, organizations, economic, social, political, and scientific organizations and businesses. However, how can we plan in 20 years for the Muslim community to be a celebrated community? So what's the plan? 4,000 mosques. I would like our community, the leadership here, after inshallah you build this mosque, unless you can do it at the same time, establish scholarship fund on an annual basis, and scholarships for 5 students. 1, to study journalism. 2nd, to study filmmaking. 3rdly, to study law. 4th, political science. And 5th, history or humanity. 4 years from now, 4,000 mosques in America. Remember, 4,000 mosques. We will have, in 4 years, 4,000 new journalists, filmmakers, lawyers, history students who will become teachers, and students and graduates of political science. 20 years from now, we keep doing it every year. 20 years from now, the Muslim community will have 50,000 attorneys, 50,000 journalists, 50,000 filmmakers, 50,000 professors of political science and history. If we do that, the Muslim community will write its own history.
That's what CARE's linked to. That's who this guy is.
السلام عليكم لجيراننا وحبايبنا في جالية ملفندل. نحدثكم اليوم ان انتم تخرجوا للتصويت لو سمحتوا علشان معانا الاخ دونوفن مرشح الكونغرس US كونغرس ومعانا الاستاذ عبدول. بس نحدثكم نذكركم
This intra-party brawl between Dr. Abdul El-Sayed and Congresswoman Haley Stevens will say as much about this perennial battleground as it does the future of the Democratic Party.
Money out of!
El-Sayed is running as a political outsider, bucking the progressive label, but boosted by and sounding like many of them.
This is an election between Abdul and the billionaire class.
This is the money versus the many.
The money is central, especially with groups like the pro-Israel AIPAC spending millions to back Stevens.
This is a record spend. Now, the big difference is I'm fighting for Medicare for all. I'm willing to say we need to abolish ICE.
They also differ on continued U.S. aid to Israel.
To me, it is about why are we sending bombs and tanks for no reason to other countries? That doesn't make sense to me.
You've spoken specifically about Israel, but I wonder how that would manifest when it comes to aid of other kinds. So, for example, if you're in the Senate and a Ukraine aid package comes up, would you vote against that?
So what I'm against is unconditional foreign military aid.
It has to be just for Muslims. As of this morning, he is leading by 1 point, but all, like, Al Jazeera, they said he won. But it hasn't even been called yet.
Swing state in the Midwest that President Trump won a couple of years ago. The progressive in this race, Abdul El-Sayed, he'll be campaigning in just a short while from now here in Detroit with Congresswoman Summer Lee and Ayanna Pressley. He spent the last few months appearing with other national progressives like controversial commentator Hassan Piker, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Look, at the end of the day, I don't pay my taxes so that another country gets a bomb or a tank. The money that could be spent to rebuild our kids' schools or provide them health care is being sent abroad to drop bombs on other people and their kids. I just think that... This
is him speaking.
About events that I remember because I was an adult when they happened. And that was question 755. When the state of Oklahoma voted in a referendum to amend the Constitution to ban Sharia law. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that means you can't bitch slap our fucking women, you cock.
This contest tomorrow does feel like it's even larger than just for a primary, for a Senate seat, because it seems to be a bit representative of the battle within the Democratic Party right now.
Yeah. I remember voting for Obama in 2008. I had just turned 18, and he was the first person that I ever voted for. I remember the feeling like it was yesterday. Since then, I've lived in a lot of states. I've voted for a lot of different candidates, and I have never come close to that feeling, except for right now. Voting for Abdul, it matches that energy. And I think it's because it's rooted in the same two things. It's rooted in hope that we can be a better country, that we can be a place for all people, but it's also rooted in change. The current
change. They are, these fucking Islamists are behind, they're putting just the wool over your eyes, and you believe that they are good and they're going to change the system and everybody's going to fucking crap goddamn fucking rainbow fucking sprinkles. That's what they think is going to happen. But the reality is, with it doth come Islamism. That's what you're getting. And you can't see it because you're fucking stupid as shit. And it's all in the DSA. Look at this fucking shit right here. This is just common stuff, not fucking faux news. Members of Madami DSA pledged to support and defend China. New York Democrats introduced bill requiring 10% discount on all items if you self-checkout. New York Magazine, the GOP's big red scare is really stupid. Democrats aren't communists, and the relatively small progressive surge in this year's primary isn't Bolshevik resolution. Right, Kilgore. Kamala, everything they're saying. Eliminate electoral, add states, give Dem permanent edge in Congress, pack the Supreme Court. She's part of all of it. All of it. Because why not? Why not? I mean, let's be honest. It works. You get these stupid kids to believe this. This one right here. Self-proclaimed socialist Reddit post shows how much the DSA actually despises the working class. Let me read this thing. I need to vent some honestly vibrating with anxiety and frustration right now. Like most of you, I identify as a socialist. I read theory, I support unions, and I generally believe in dismantling the capitalist structure. But lately, I'm finding it harder and harder to advocate for the actual members of the working class because, let's be honest, so many of them are completely steeped in toxic masculinity and reactionary anti-progressive attitudes. I was at the local cafe down the street from my apartment this morning trying to get some reading done. Oh, she's a teacher. There we go. For logging into my remote job. It was raining, so I had my, who gives a fuck? 2 construction workers in highway vests came in. They were incredibly loud, taking up way too much physical space, and completely ignoring their unspoken social contract of quiet morning space. That's it. That's it. These are the people that want to vote for them, but they don't know that they're garbage. Crystal Ball, the one audio with this dickhead, the Democrats are actually the most pro-American faction. She wrote that. She believes that shit. But all of them flows in to the same vein, and that's Islamism. Okay, we're not going to be able to fuck around this section because there's so much. Let's start with Dearborn, Michigan. This is happening in Michigan. Muslims with Islamic Jihad flags in Arabic are rallying for Abdul Sayed. That's probably bad. I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty fucking bad. Let me see if I can find the fucking video. I think it's this one right here. Oh, this is that idiot getting beat up again.
No rioting, no violence, no violence. No
he had to be taken out again because they beat the fucking shit out of him.
No violence.
They stoned him.
That silence in the face of injustice. No violence. No violence.
So here is the Abu Sayed.
This is America.
Yep.
That silence in the face of injustice is never the answer. That same spirit has inspired great leaders throughout history.
Majority
Dr. Martin Luther King
city.
Jr., Congressman John Lewis, Muhammad Ali.
America better wake up. This is for Abdul in Michigan. If you take a look here at this profile, you right here tells the story. And this video was just one day ago posted by the same guy. Do these people look like they belong in America or are acting like they should be in America?
My friends, what the fuck is this? This is Dearborn.
They will
It doesn't
keep running for office, and they will never stop.
They're going to get him in office, and when it happens, we are becoming so fucking stupid. It's everywhere in Dearborn, all right? This is all just Dearborn. Sound bites I got from Dearborn. What the fuck is that? 45,000 people.
Wonderful wife, Deanna. A strong, proud
This is the
Palestinian
police
woman.
chief.
When I joined the
bowing.
department, Dearborn's Arab American population was nearly 50%. Yet less than 3% of our police force reflected the community that we served. The department was not always welcoming to people who were different. Today, the Dearborn Police Department is the department that I wish I worked for when I first started my career. It's now a department that reflects and embraces the community it serves. With 45% of our Arab are all.
If you were to do grocery shopping here in Dearborn, this is what you would see. In my 2 years of reporting on the ground, this is the most shocking footage that I have ever taken. Our country is becoming unrecognizable. I will play this footage without commentary and let you experience it.
Everything is haram.
We're going to invite everybody here to Europe with that religion. This is not Europe. Go back to the Middle East with that religion. This is not in the Middle. You are the devil.
That's LA.
You are the devil.
Hey guys, if you still think what's happening in Europe can't happen here, just look at Dearborn, Michigan right now. We're continuing our series on life inside a captured Islamic city in America. Christians and Jews are being treated like second-class citizens in their own city, from the mayor telling a Christian pastor he's not welcome here, to taxpayer-funded Ramadan signs, decorations, and celebrations, while Easter, Passover get pushed aside. One brave resident, Miss Unger, stood up in front of the city council and laid it all out.
The call to prayer is loud, it's disturbing, it's annoying, and many times over the specified limit.
She's been trying to get the city council to address the noise complaints on the call to prayer, just like many other residents.
This is what Friedman got. It's 25 minutes, and
Welcome to Dearborn.
Folks, this is bad. Nobody would talk to him. Everything's in Arabic. Women are all covered. When he tried to speak to him, look at this. Do you see this in your town?
Is it right here on this strip?
Do you see this?
These guys ain't gonna talk to you. I'll be honest with you.
Hold on. There's one. Here's all. What the fuck is that?
Yes, I'm making a video about Dearborn, and I'm asking people, who are you voting for?
No speak
I believe
English.
they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have
They beat the
bananas.
fuck out of this guy. I mean, he's really kind of a stupid ass, but look at this shit. No police stopped it. No police stopped it. He's a piece of shit. But once again, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. You don't have it. You can't talk about Christianity up there.
Both the airwaves there and a lot of conversations about the race. AIPAC has played a huge role in the Michigan Senate race. And an affiliated
That's a
super PAC,
journalist.
has spent more than $30 million.
Do you catch it? A journalist. AIPAC. How about the Muslim Brotherhood? How about CARE? Do we care about that? That's a journalist attacking Jews. That's all code word for Jews. That has nothing to do with anything. Look at this. He's
It's
an
time to call out what
ex-Muslim.
Islam is doing to America, and it's time to stop the Islamic invasion. Muslims, you lit up ground zero green for Islam. The same place 3,000 Americans were slaughtered, and your Muslim mayor celebrated it. Sharia police are arresting Christian missionaries in Dearborn for preaching the
Yes.
gospel, and there are
Yes.
Taliban-linked mosques in Dallas. And what's even crazier is Muslims told a Christian minister he is not welcome in America, but you demand that America welcomes you. So the
$20 million. People moved there in that video that he showed just because of this mosque. They came from overseas to there.
Good morning. So I want to show you some footage.
You know, Ayatollah Khomeini killed millions of people over the past 47 years and oppressed millions of women. And recently, tens of thousands of women have died trying to be free from the evil Islamic regime. Well, the largest Muslim population in the United States in Dearborn, Michigan, has a Shiite mosque who chose to honor Ayatollah Khomeini as a martyr.
I have an Islamist. This is on the streets. Here's the Michigan governor candidate. He says it very succinctly.
I'm not sure if you saw this. This is Dearborn, Michigan, yesterday. Let's play the video.
Let me get to him.
I didn't go and fight extremists to have them on our doorstep here.
Yeah, neither did I. Neither did anybody. Here's the problem. It's not just there. Houston, the other place we spoke about. This week in Houston, streets were turned into a foreign parade ground once again. The latest Abilene procession stormed the city, men marching in lockstep, little children, their fathers pounding their chests, black flags raised high, loudspeaker blasting chants of domination. This wasn't prayer. It was a military-style operation on American soil. It's not an isolated event. The same imported rituals from Iraq and Iran keep getting staged in our neighborhoods every few weeks. Pro-Hamas street protests, Ashura Aberdeen procession flooding the roads, Ramadan festival season Texas landmarks, halal forced in public school, Islamic tribunals operating in the shadows, Sharia banking pushed into our economy, foreign flags being raised, Sharia patrols pressuring businesses, animals being displayed in the streets before halal slaughter, parallel cities being built, taxpayers being forced to fund dangerous Islamic schools. This list rages on. This is a campaign of conquest to seize our public square, our institution, and bend Texas under their rule. This is Houston, Texas, and it started under Obama. Wait till you see the kids. Okay, that's a procession. Look at this. Those are little kids. Just like they're doing overseas, they force their religion on everybody by taking over the public space. It's what they do in Europe. This is Dallas. Dallas taking over the street. This is Houston.
They already have it. There's housing tracts, communities in Irving where the street names are in Muslim. They have an Allah Akbar, whatever that means, court. Their school teaches the Quran and they shun Western ways. The residents say this is one of many communities that Texas will be the start and the home for all Muslims. It's already happening, folks. The further I dig, the more that I see, and they're boasting about it. So when Governor Abbott's
rare, I found them.
I just recently watched a video from March 2025 about the McKinney Mosque on El Dorado and the new proposed mosque for Virginia Parkway. Imam was interviewed saying that the mosque is already at El Dorado has already 1,000 attendees on Friday service, and he was looking forward to moving to the new mosque on Virginia Parkway and expanding it 10 to 15 times its size. It already will have a school.
And we'll be paying for it. We'll be paying for it. They'll get tax-free status. And then this is the thing. You inject it with a bunch of stuff. You then take and put all that and you go run for boards. You run the country. This was the second way they were going in. Oh, how about Indiana? Did you know that we have a problem in Indiana? Khalistan convoy snarls Indiana interstate and referendum push. On August 1st in Indianapolis, supporters of the independent Sikh state and Punjab staged a 5-mile slow convoy to build momentum for an August 16 referendum vote organized by groups like Sikhs for Justice. The event drew sharp online criticism for creating safety hazards, ignoring other motives, and spotlighting a foreign cause in the U.S., with figures like Eric Prince calling for the participants to leave, tied to the Khalistan movie of 70s and 80s violence. The rally fueled debate on assimilation, traffic enforcement, similar events planned in other cities. What the fuck is this? How is this okay? And once again, assimilation. Look at this. They're driving 15 miles an hour. They took over the street. That's fucking Indiana. This is Virginia. Everybody's in the shops. That's right by our Capitol. Quick hit on Spain. It's pretty much the worst. This is journalists filming the little kids, okay? They're filming the little kids to make it a sad story, right? Let me find the article. Shit. Where's the fucking article? Oh, it's over on the other side. Sorry. I have so many windows up right now. Benny Johnson. Spanish media caught staging photos with migrant children in Ceuta to guilt citizens supporting the invasion. An American journalist nearby stabbed by a criminal invader yesterday. Instead of covering that, the media covered a little kid by himself to make it look like it's a sob story. They posed the photo, as usual. They posed the photo. Sorry, my alarm clock went off. Here's a shitload of vids.
رسميا للسنة الثانية على التوالي أحضر وأزور كربلاء من غير ما أزور كربلاء، مو كربلاء العراق إنما كربلاء أمريكا، ديربورن ميشيغان. تتهيأ الخدم يتبدل العلم بالحضرة نلتقي ومن كربلاء يبدي ألمنا موكبنا ينصب.
Sorry, this one's out misrouted, but I'm glad I played it. Now back to Spain.
Sind total chaotisch. Es gibt eine verletzte Person, scheinbar verletzt, die zitternd auf dem Boden gelegen hat. Die ganze Masse hinter mir sagt,
These are people protesting there.
Estamos en Ceuta. ¿Ven ustedes todo esto de aquí? Esto se llama invasión.
Es una guerra. Están ahora mismo llegando casi 150 personas cada hora.
Y ustedes, ¿por qué no lo ven? Pero ahí está la Guardia Civil y el Ejército, con instrucciones de no hacer absolutamente nada.
Desde hace...
This is Nick Shirley, and by the end, he had to run for his life because this whole thing, they didn't even have fucking shoes on, bro. They didn't have shoes on. They tried to stab him because they're all criminals. that came across Morocco. Look at this shit. Like it wasn't staged. It was all staged. It was all prepared. That's why they opened the gate.
They don't like dogs.
They don't like dogs. Here we go. I think that's him running for his life. Because they went after him.
Now we're getting chased. He has a knife. He has a knife. He got a knife.
Police had to take him back to his fucking car. Elon Musk shared this, and it's the most everybody in the world was saying. It's World War Z. It's fucking World War Z. Look at these fucking, they're just criminals. They still are coming. They're not stopping. They're fucking everywhere, and there's nothing for them. They left their wives and kids. Here's one with Nick Shirley again.
This is a crazy situation right now.
Pedro Sanchez, gracias. Pedro Sanchez,
Viva España. Do you think it will take vigilantes to actually make a difference here inside of
I'm
Europe?
the first vigilante here. They're gonna fear me.
¿Por qué mujeres no vinieron aquí? Now they're all coming down, being walked down the mountain right now.
Look at these fucking people. You don't want these people in your country. And this is what the DSA, this is what the Islamists, this is what Assad Party. Look at this fucking shit. They lost total control of everything.
Tonight, a deadly border crisis in North Africa becoming a global political flashpoint. Stunning images show thousands of Moroccans surging through checkpoints into the Spanish territory of Ceuta, a tiny peninsula and Europe's only land border with an African nation. These cars torched on the Moroccan side of the border. Authorities in Ceuta say at least 60,000 migrants have crossed since yesterday, many hoping for better opportunities in Europe.
It's been a very tough experience.
That's what they wanted, to go to fucking Europe.
Hey, good morning, Emily. For now, it does look like this is mostly over. Almost all of the around 50,000 mostly Moroccan migrants have since left the Spanish enclave of Ceuta in North Africa. The short but perilous journey from Morocco to Ceuta, which it isn't in Europe, it actually is in northern Africa, it led to at least 77 deaths, and this according to Spain's Interior Ministry. Yep. Some swam that short distance over the breakwaters, others crossed through border fences. Almost all of them left disappointed. There were no places to stay or opportunities to travel to Europe. Here you can see Spanish soldiers.
I want you to see right here who did it. Alex Soros' son. That's who allowed it. These are the people that are doing it because they want this. They want this. Then we get to our Haitian thing, and now all we have is an activist running around going, they have to wear ankle monitors now. Isn't that sad? Because they all had to turn themselves in.
Yeah, if they can call, they will be able to reach me out too from that number. Okay. Yes. So they have to put the ankle monitor on if they want to stay in America. And I know we've seen on TV, it's people who do crime that actually have this thing on. And I'm asking, it's dangerous for them because some people, we have to know, not everybody's gonna like Haitian,
They're here illegally. They're supposed to be deported. They've lost their TPS. Shut the fuck up. This is the way we can track them. But of course, the left was there. Why do you want these people? Look at them cheering for them. They don't cheer for the soldiers. They don't cheer for anything. We love you. Here's ICE again. Fucking blocking traffic and being people that should be fucking arrested. Where was this at? This is in New York City or Chicago. This is in Chicago. Look at them. Attack the car.
You're
Here's
right
the
to talk
media.
about the policy too, because your colleagues at the Journal have reporting around an $100,000 fee for international students that end up wanting to work in the U.S. That could lead to some kind of a brain drain as well. But I think
A
Vaughn,
brain
the
drain.
idea that it's not just what the Journal is reporting, it's also some reporting about a new piece of the immigration agenda, this so-called Freedom Haulers initiative to replace undocumented truck drivers with military veterans. I don't think anyone is arguing that we shouldn't be helping our veterans find jobs. But I think it's important to put this through the lens of the way that the administration is doing it and the way that they are otherizing people who are here in an undocumented fashion in the process. Right.
Otherizing. You're an illegal. You can't speak the language. You can't read English. And you're supposed to be allowed to just drive all over the fucking place because you can. That's what we're supposed to do. Literally. That's what you want us to do? Are you fucking stoned? Are you fucking stoned? So let's just get into the Islamists in our midst. Well, no, let's do this. I'll play the European stuff that I found. This is just 1 week. Every week I play this, or every few days, and these are the sound bites I get. This is all from Europe. Palestinian flags. I think this one's from America. Sorry, I got in the wrong spot. Here we go. Gays. No, this was overseas. It's hard to tell because they all have blue hair and they're fucking freaks.
Gays for Gaza, globalize the Intifada. Gays for Gaza, globalize the Intifada. Gays for Gaza, globalize the Intifada. Gays for Gaza, globalize the Intifada.
This is Manchester. At the same time, Dearborn and Houston. This was Manchester. Now, for all those saying, well, freedom of religion, could you fucking do that if you were a Christian? Can you take over roads? Roads? I don't think so. I just don't think so at all. Here's another one. Mahurman in Manchester. This is just, well, it's the last podcast. Look at that. Iranian. Those are fucking terrorist flags. Terrorist flags. Just rolling around. What the fuck is this? It's always in the parks. It's always in the parks. You do this to fucking push your goddamn religion on other people. Listen to this fucking piece of shit.
Here's my little message to the far right. If you want me out of your country, pay me a one-way ticket, pay for my accommodation, and I will be out of your hair for good. Because I promise you, my country is far better than this country. I was
Then
just
go the fuck
unlucky
home,
to be.
because this is what's happening to non-Muslims. This is in Finland. This is in Finland. Look at this. Women should not have to live like, look at that. Grabbed her by her hair and started beating her. What is that? Why is that okay?
The voice of those Kashmiris that have been butchered, the martyred in Kashmir. We are their voice, raising their voice in this parliament. My question to you, each and every single one of you, is where are your elected members? Your elected councillors?
Yeah, they're getting butchered. Look at this. Once again, pack of wolves beating a person from the country. No police around because they're cold. Anti-Islam actor Jake Lang. All right, sorry, this is the wrong spot. That's him fucking beating his ass. He's a stupid ass. I don't know why he's doing that. Look at that. Border guards to open fire in Poland. Poland's got it right, but there's another country that's even better, and I'm going to cover it. Our last soundbite today. They got their fucking shit in one goddamn bag. This is Muslims marching in London for Sharia law.
Open your eyes.
This is in Spain. No, it's France. Sorry. I couldn't read it. Yep, this is what happens to European women. Oh, this is just one thing, Tony. Nope, there's another one. Fake asylum seeker assaulting a woman and robbing her. Look at that. Nobody helps. And here's a stupid suicidal empathy. There's this lady also brings him running. She'll be raped and shot.
Okay, next guy. Next guy.
Why would you want to do this?
Alright, one more guy, alright? There's more of you. There's 5 of you.
España.
Okay.
If this is your first time coming across my page, all we do here is share what's going on with these pathetic, parasitic, disgusting migrants.
Yep. 85% of women murdered in Ireland in 2026 are by foreign migrants.
He also propagates a kind of caricatured view of Europe, that it is some sort of hellhole overrun with Muslim immigrants, incredibly violent.
That's the way the left handles it. So let's just get in to the Islamists, all right? Let's just talk about Islamists. What is the plan? What are they planning to do? It's a pretty simple thing because they don't hide it. They outright say ad nauseum, hey, we're going to go in, we're going to get elected, we're going to push our laws, Sharia law, and you're going to shut the fuck up because that's what we do. So here's a band that I don't know who they are. I guess I do if I look at the thing. Let me play this. This post, 61,000 likes, okay, off this one post. I know I downloaded it, but I don't want to dig through all this shit to get it. Because remember, this is authorized. You make a bad chicken. Your man gets to beat that ass. This is post online, and it's okay because it's cultural.
Let's just take a look at the comments and what the public has to say about this, because it's at 62,000 likes, so a lot of people have seen this video. Let's just take a look. Welcome to Islam, 1,300 likes. Where are there liberals protesting for women's rights? 1,700 likes. This is violence against women. Welcome to New York. Coming to a city near you. The beauty of Islam. This is probably Mamdani and his wife. It's very likely. Liberals get ready. That's true. Liberals should get ready because this is your future. This is legal and acceptable under Sharia law. A husband can absolutely beat his wife like this. This is Minneapolis. Democrats love it. This is what America has to look forward to. This is what liberals want. It's unreal. The reality of Islam life. Wonderful people. Just seen this happening in Bradford, so it's also happening in the UK. Welcome to Islam. And the United States, if you abuse a dog like this, you'll go to jail, but it's normal in Islam. So if you don't want this to happen in America or in any Western nation, it has to be deported. If they're citizens, they should just be denaturalized and deported too. It's just that simple. We cannot have Islam in Western nations.
They don't assimilate. They won't assimilate. They choose not to assimilate. Every fucking buddy goes to different countries.
We're done
and
hiding.
What do you do?
We're
if
done.
you're going to be a member of that fucking nation, then you assimilate to them. This was New York City.
We're done hiding. We're done.
We got New York,
We're done
and
being
we're going to go for
tortured
everything.
and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
That is on the streets of New York, Mondami's New York. That's when it started. That's when they had the power to do it. That's when attacks have started. This, let me make sure I got my fact. California Imam claims that American belong to Islam. Uthman ibn Farouk, a Pakistani-born U.S. citizen, and Imam in Masad al-Rabat stated in a video, "Nobody can stop Islam in America. This is not your country. This is our country." The clip prompted criticism from figures like Nancy Mace, who asked, "What are we waiting for?" Others calling for deportation. It has fueled discussion on assimilation and tolerance amid a growing U.S. Muslim population projected to reach 8.1 million people.
Wants to put a Muslim ban. He wants to ban Muslims. We will tell him, this isn't your country to ban. This is the land of Allah, as every land is the land of Allah. And there are Muslims here that are going to be here. And if you don't like it, I would suggest he goes somewhere else. But I don't know where he's going to go. If he goes back to Europe, a lot of Muslims in Europe, I've been there recently. You go to Africa, you go to South America, you go to China, you go to Malaysia, you go to Japan, you go to the Antarctic, there's Muslims. So I would make a suggestion. If he wants to go somewhere where there is no Muslims, I suggest he goes to hell. And know that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us the glad tidings that this religion of Islam will enter every household.
No, they're just peaceful people. Massive Attack decided to go on their stage and show pictures of or do the Palestinian flag, and they've been like cracked. They were cracked by their fucking fans. They were cracked and detained by the police. Look at that shit. I could read this, but you already know it. Bodies under administration, Hamas and the use of sexual violence. ISIS has issued a direct call for Muslims to set fire to churches and synagogues across the United States and Europe, and it's happening. Here's Zoran Mondami's New York. This is a guy just walking his dog, and tell me I could find it. Where's the fucking dog walk? Here it is right here. Because they're not haram, they are fucking harassing and hitting this guy and acting a fuel. Look at this. He's just walking his dog. But that's not haram.
You about to fuck him up.
It's not haram. And people just watch it.
Wait, dead ass?
Because, you know.
What's happening right now? Dead ass. Dead ass? Get away with your fucking dog, man.
It'll basically come a time that you won't be able to fucking have a dog, because this is what they're doing everywhere. Washington State is being conquered through Legislation. Muslim activists are forcing bills that protect illegals from deportation, grant special prayer and holiday privileges to Muslim students, expand the hate crime laws for anything around a mosque while they're being told by their handlers, you need to fucking burn down churches all over the world because Allah said that shit. And I don't understand.
It's gorgeous. It's really scenic.
She's not here to sightsee.
Do you have a talking point that you want to look at?
She and about 50 other Muslims are meeting with lawmakers and their staff about 3 specific bills.
It's nice to be able to say, like, okay, it's not just an email, it's not just words on a sheet of paper, it's also like a human being who's actually like being affected.
The bills, which are all progressing through the legislature, would prohibit state agencies from assisting immigration authorities.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Muslim college students would be allowed time and space to pray, and their tests would be scheduled around Muslim holidays. The third bill would expand the type of crimes considered hate crimes at religious sites.
That's really interesting because you can't do that for Christian stuff. The left burned all sorts of shit. Muslim mayor at Benton Harbor, Michigan, Marcus Humad, gaslights residents who complained that a park turned into a crime and drug-ridden place, says our country was built on criminal enterprises. Because he's Muslim. We don't give a fuck. He wants that shit. These are Gazans who held a funeral, fully armed teenagers going around with guns and shit.
هذا قرين.
The peaceful people, though. Here's them fighting, and oh, I'm sorry, we're in civilian clothes. This is in Chicago. Protesters saying hands off the West Bank, attacking Trump. That means kill the Jews. This is Michigan. The text is if they're going to vote in the Muslim Brotherhood, because that's who it is, this is what you're going to get. That's in Michigan.
مجلس المنظمات الإسلامية بالتعاون مع عدد من الجمعيات والمراكز الإسلامية البارزة في المنطقة.
Detroit, Michigan. And here's just some odds and ends. So we'll just go through the rest of them. These are all as they speak.
I'm anti-MAGA. I follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. You see, Jesus told us to love each other, to accept those that are different than us. Not something that Donald Trump is all about. You see, Jesus wanted us to welcome the immigrants into our land. Donald Trump doesn't want that. You see,
we're about to experience the Azan here at Masjid Dar al-Hijra.
So they're about to make the Adhan right now. Bismillah.
The historic moment.
They pushed for this. Here's an anti-Semite with an anti-Semite.
Of a so-called single-payer healthcare system, and you've proposed introducing that at a state level. You call it Mishcare. It's one of your big signature policy proposals. Explain what that is.
You're from the UK.
Yep.
In the UK, it's called single provider, meaning that the NHS
making him look normal even though he is. This is in France.
Si la femme s'est parfumée, elle n'a pas le droit de sortir dans cet état-là. Et lorsque tu te trouves sur le trottoir, ma sœur, n'oublie pas de raser les murs. Laisse le milieu du chemin aux hommes et toi, prends le bas-côté. La fitna de la mixité est...
There's another one.
Yes. But yeah, welcome. Hello, I'm Alex, and this is Ryan.
Do you mind if I record you?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
So your name's Alex? Alex and Ryan.
Yes, that's us. Nice to meet you as well.
And this is what?
This is Workers' World Party. We're a...
Every morning, Dearborn. Every morning, that's what you wake up to. Oh, it's like church bells. They don't ring at 5:30 in the morning.
Destroy all the enemies of Islam. May Allah destroy them
Dearborn.
completely and show in us the great signs of Allah in their utter destruction, annihilation, humiliation.
Those people should be in our country. This is her, Rashida Tlaib. Death to America.
Not a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib? She reps Dearborn. Is she okay with her constituents chanting death to America? Fox Business correspondent Hillary Vaughn asked her.
Here's Europe. Europe, low-life, prostitutes, promiscuity. It's all about like women, just like women. Here's another nice guy.
Now regarding a question, that
Italy.
if hypothetically you rape a girl and you murder her, and if the court of law in this world cannot prove, and then you truly repent, will Allah forgive you? And you say most probably Allah will forgive you.
What that was is the one we played before. If you rape my person, then I rape your person, and we're good. This is Germany.
Germany. I'm from Germany. No, but he was not from Germany. From his country was he. But he was born in a different country.
This is in Dearborn again, Michigan. Abdul Sayel. Shia lawyer Hassan Salemi calls America devil worshippers, praises Khomeini, and demands a jihad culture for the children.
We're gathered here today to commemorate the martyrdom
of Ayatollah
the great leader of our time, Sayyid Ali al-Hussein al-Khamenei, rahmatullahi alayh.
We might think this was an attack led by Zionist Jews, but the commander of their mission is the very one who was trying to prove that Adam was not worth prostrating to. Iblis is the one behind the scenes leading their camp, in the shadows lurking, irking in their symbology, their ideologies, their psychology, their economy.
This is a Dearborn mayor telling a non-Muslim, you are not welcome here.
Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel it's quite inappropriate.
You are an Islamophobe, and although you live here, I want you to know, as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you
achieved the victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come, because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah,
it's time to call out what Islam is doing to America. It's time to stop the Islamic invasion. Muslims, you lit up Ground Zero green for Islam. The same place 3,000 Americans were slaughtered, and your Muslim mayor celebrated it. Sharia police are arresting Christian missionaries in Dearborn for preaching the gospel, and there are Taliban-linked mosques in Dallas. And what's even crazier is Muslims told a Christian minister he is not welcome in America. But you demand that America welcomes you. So let me ask you something. If Islam is a religion of peace, why are you invading a Christian country? And the most ridiculous thing is, the moment someone speaks about it, you call us Islamophobic. That is not peace, that is control, and I will never stop calling it out.
But they're smart. That's the smartest thing in the world to do. They use us against. But remember, Barack Hussein Obama, we are no longer a Christian nation. 2012.
Assalamu alaikum. We are no longer a Christian nation.
We do not consider ourselves a Christian nation.
The United States has been enriched by Muslim Americans. Since our founding,
enriched.
American Muslims have enriched the United States. Many other Americans have Muslims in their families or have lived in a Muslim majority country. I know because I am one of them. But my father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn.
That's when it began. That's when him and Jared started seeding everything. Dearborn, Houston, Philly, Jersey, illegally bringing people in. But see, in Japan, they're not fucking around. The Muslims decided, we're going to put the biggest thing in the world across the street from a Shinto shrine. And the people went out and said, fuck you. We don't want a single mosque or a Muslim cemetery here. They stopped it, as they should. It was provocation. It was provocation. And I think more and more of us are down with this gift. I am a proud Islamophobe. I'm against wife-beating, rape, pedophilia, slavery, killing non-Muslims, flying planes into buildings, beheadings, dressing women in tents, Shakia, anti-Semitism, female genital mutilation, mass rape of little girls, racism, and hanging gays. We need to ban Islam, shut down every mosque, and deport as many Muslims as possible. They are here to conquer us. We cannot let that happen. And I think more and more and more Americans are seeing what vets already know. Yes, Muslims in the totality are peaceful people. The problem is Islamists are not. Okay, so that, once again, regardless of what you do, some people always think they're a victim. So remember this piece of shit that we saw.
What does it say about...
He did it on cars. He did it on people. Well, didn't go too well for him.
Check out this fucking Sharkeisha right here. She posted a video of her son riding wheelies on his mountain bike, weaving in and out of traffic, and he got bumper checked by a car. And
that was,
of course, it's everyone's fault but his. But I want to read what she posted here. Let's get in here.
This is the post.
Whoever you is, you hurt my fucking child. Damn near killed him. Bitch didn't even stop to check on my son. Kept going. Got something for that ass. You hit a fucking child who was riding his bike in the bike lane, having fun with his friends. Pissed! You going to jail, bitch? I don't care who was in the wrong, bitch. You didn't stop. No heart at all. She continues. Not only is she wrong, she's confident about it. Shut the fuck up. Yes, my child was dangerously riding, and yes, he should have been riding the right way. That's not what the fuck I'm talking about. The fact is, I'm not hitting and child and keep going, or don't call for help regardless if I'm wrong or right. Yahuwah's so worried about how he was writing. That's not the point, and arguing with everything on here. About mines. Surely it can't get any worse. So it's okay to hit a child that was in the wrong and pull off and not call for help, and he is hurt. Noted, I'm about to start bopping any and everything that's in the wrong. I'm not dodging nobody kids anymore. Keep them off the road, and I ain't stopping or calling for help. Noted. I'm starting to think that there's a direct correlation between bonnets and brain damage. What the fuck?
So, how is your kid the victim when he's been doing this stupid TikTok channel and endangering people, and you let it go, and finally somebody fucked that ass up, and it's their fault? Really? So that wraps up another episode of Flyover Politic Podcast here at the Family and Friends. Go to Flyover Politic with the K on SoundCloud, YouTube, foppodcast@gmail.com. We're going to go with the 9 August, year of our Lord, 2026 podcast. Until then, disconnect from all your devices. Don't give the yeah-yeahs. And stay safe out there. Take care.